Mr. Darko Beats.
Welcome in New York. Welcome back to the Post 90 podcast. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a few different games. We've got Leagues Cup action. We've got midfield stars going out for the rest of the year. And we've got some new signings that have got some minutes under their belt that look pretty promising. So I don't know where you want to start. I know we had the Leagues Cup last night and we all kind of stayed up late or traveled to the game in miserable weather for a miserable result. But that comes after what was a very promising away win against FC Dallas. So we could take it a billion different ways.
Yeah, I think just for the sake of the listeners, we'll do the Dallas kind of summary and chat first, just because the Leagues Cup game last night that we watched was, I mean, a disgrace on so many levels, but we'll keep it positive at first with the Dallas. First and foremost, Alonso Martinez. Like, he is everything that we have always thought he was and more. Like, the dude could do no wrong. That performance alone to keep us in that game, which was completely wide open from, like you said, a random Friday night, they decided to do that. One of the most entertaining games of the season so far that I've watched, even beyond New York City. So I'm thankful for that. Johnny Shore gets his first goal for the club off of a header, which is like the least likely scenario that I ever had for Johnny scoring. So overall, that night was amazing. I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, and I forgot where I was going to take it. Alonso. So Alonso, I don't know if he listened to the episode or maybe one of the last two episodes where we talked a little bit about consistency and like needing that from our man up top, who we had otherwise. We really only had it from, what did we say? We said Freese, we said Hannes a little bit lately, and Thiago throughout the season. And actually, we have to talk about Thiago too. It's actually two stars that we're losing a lot of time to. But keeping it rolling with FC Dallas, yeah, I mean, Alonso came and made a case and made a statement like, I'm back, essentially, is what he did. He wrote that Jay-Z letter or whoever it was. And yeah, I mean, kind of in super fashion too. Like, I mean, none of the goals were that flashy, I guess you could say, but like the time that they come always kind of in response to us just getting scored on ourselves, and then obviously to win the game as well. You can't say enough about him. And like, if this is the form that he's in, I think he must have just brought himself all the way back to being tied with Hannes for goals on the season. So he's coming for that top spot, if not in it now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you could see, even with the Leagues Cup game, just to kind of intertwine these two conversations, like, the team without Alonso is a complete shell of itself offensively. Like, there is no motion whatsoever if Alonso's not on the field. And, you know, you saw that with the Leagues Cup game, but you just see that anytime that we're missing Alonso, it's entirely slow up top. And it's something where, you know, we need another person. And Hannes kind of does that a little bit here and there, but we need somebody to consistently be able to be up there and help him be in positions to succeed as well. Because he could do a lot himself, but he needs a little help up there.
Some people early on are already making the claim that Nico is that guy. Like, Nico is the guy that's going to help, and that
Nico
has already...
saying he's that guy.
That's fair. Actually, and I thought it was kind of crazy in the Leagues Cup game, they got the pen, and I know he drew it, and we didn't have a lot of our standard dudes on the field, a lot of our starting 11 dudes, but like, he had the ball to take the pen if it was needed. And I found that kind of interesting. But that's like the confidence that we beg for out of Alonso, so...
Yeah, that's an entirely different conversation about the refs in that game, and somehow NYCFC managed to be worse than the refs on the day, which was a tall task because that dude was a disaster. But you're right, like, Nico, outside of Nico and maybe Julian, there was no bright stars on that game entirely. And you see Nico come in and make his debut against Dallas. He ends up getting the game-winning assist. Like, just that spark that he brought to the team was, you can't capture that in words. So to see him kind of come off of the minutes restriction and be able to give 90 minutes, like, this team with Nico 90 minutes and Alonso 90 minutes is going to be night and day different. That's why I am kind of happy we didn't record last night, because I was I mean, you saw me in the text. I was full tilt last night, like fully full tilt.
Yeah, there were a lot of texts flying around
And I think all true to a degree still, but
from
I think
the man
it
that
was
sent them.
emotionally
He
charged.
says they were
Yeah,
true.
from the source. Yeah,
Yeah,
from the source, the opinion is true. But
yeah,
yeah, this team's going to give people fits, specifically late on in the season, despite losing Keaton, losing Tiago, kind of those key players that are anchors to different parts of the field, different thirds of the field. I think despite losing them, we're actually even better in the long run.
yeah. And I think we've talked about it a little bit. Like when Keaton first got injured, we talked a little bit about his impact to the game. And there's been a few episodes throughout where the attack has looked super sluggish and I guess just unproductive. And I think we've mentioned Keaton in passing and like how much, I guess, offensive ability he brings to our midfield that has just been absent. And I think that probably has been the biggest thing holding us back is not really having anybody coming from more of the deep lying midfielder role or like box to box contributing to the attack in any way. And now seeing him gone for the season, obviously first emotionally, I think that's super tough. I know it looks like it's a blood clot thing again, which is horrible. I don't know. We talked in the past, like, is there a point where if it comes up again, like we're looking at a retirement early type of deal? And I think all of us pray that that's not the case, but we now don't have a Keaton that we're looking forward to coming back. We don't have a Malachi that we're looking forward to coming back. We have a Thiago that we're looking forward to coming back. But
Fingers crossed.
yeah, ideally. But that he's not going to help the attack. Like our attack is truly what our issue is, and I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand that our defense is as solid as it really is. And if you look at some of the underlying stats, I know Blue Ballers was throwing around some figures on Twitter too. Like we are a solid team on defense. Like between Hack and Thiago, they get the job done, but we just don't have an ability to score at a clip that's acceptable, I guess, to support that.
Yeah, and that's where I guess this Nico signing really helps. Getting Hannes on the field would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice because the other Ojeda is just not. He's just not creating anything. Like there's not really a final product, and now we're also lacking the, I guess, chance creation that we had before. So we're not really getting anything from that side of the field, especially if O'Toole now with Tana in the back line or Tavon Gray, he's not going to have the same, I guess, will or instructions to get forward. Like he's going to kind of have to lock in. So you're almost looking at that team and thinking there's going to be no threat at all coming from the left side of the field. Like at all, there just isn't.
So, I mean, you can't play football games that way, right?
You can't.
No, you can't. You can't win them that way, I'll say.
You can't, and you can't go in to a game and be that readable. Like it's very clear if you watch film on the team, there's not much coming from that side. And if there is, it's a shot with not enough power on it, or a cross without enough power, a misplaced pass, things like that. Like it's just completely disjointed over there, and I don't know what Pascal can even do to motivate him at this point because it's like you don't have a Malachi to come chopping at his ankles to take his job. Julian really isn't going to do anything from that left wing position, so there's not much you could really do to even put a fire under Ojeda at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I guess, like you mentioned, Juli looked kind of decent against Leagues Cup as much as you could in a 3-0 loss, I guess,
Yeah.
where the ref is making it tough to play any long stretch of football at all. I guess, I mean, do you just have to pick one of them and, like, run with them regardless of anything? Like, stop going, like, 3 games for you, and you just run them for the rest of the season and you pray that you find it. Like, it can't be any worse than subbing people back and forth, right? I don't know. Maybe it could.
But honestly, the only other solution that you could really do is throw in Maximo up there because it can't be worse than Ojeda.
What about Musu? Like, can he play winger?
I don't know.
Feel like
Honestly,
he could.
like if I don't know, you're in a tough spot now with Keaton going out for the season because my initial thought is like you throw Prey up there because he played up there at a point and was doing well.
Yeah.
But even that, like you're going to need Prey now in the midfield, and your options are looking tough. You might even need to, take Nico out of that. Nico is almost operating as like a right wing. So maybe that can work where you have Hannes on the left and Nico on the right. But I don't know. I don't know if that truly works.
Because, well, where do you think Nico would exist otherwise if we have Maxi on the field? Like, he would have to be
Well,
on
because
the
Maxi
wing,
would
right?
probably drop deeper.
Yeah, and play like a Keaton role, you think?
Yeah,
I feel
because
like we're getting.
back when we had Sands, we kind of did operate Maxi in a deeper role. Like he wasn't a true 10 next to Sands, really.
Right.
At least from my memory, I could be
Well, we
completely
had
wrong.
Santi as well, who
Right.
was kind of taking a lot of that attacking, responsibility. And that was 2021. Santi was obviously when he was really popping off at a level that was kind of out of this world. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like everything is happening all at once. Like, well, we should talk about Raul Gustavo because I don't know if you saw, but he posted on his Instagram story that he was at the City Football Academy in London.
Yeah.
So, obviously, as we all know, that's where all the players do their interviews before they get their visas to come over to America to join us. So, at this point, like I'm considering him a part of the team. Like he's on the team. And like the first thing that my mind goes to is if you're gonna put like Thiago and Raul back there, maybe you can get Hack up back into the midfield, and that gives you another body up there.
To
But
me,
then
it's not worth it.
Thiago's out for 6 weeks, so that
Yeah.
blows that plan up regardless. So it's a weird, like the roster construction is not supporting a 36 game MLS season with Leagues Cup and other tournaments dotted in, which is what I think a lot of us have been complaining about for a while. Is like we have to sign players, like, and now people are starting to fall off because they
Yeah.
have too much.
Well, that's almost why I feel like last night with the Leagues Cup game, it was almost Pascal being defiant against the front office. Because we all, like, I know I texted it. We know that Seymour cannot lead a professional line. Like, we know that. Pascal knows that. And he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't even be given that responsibility. His role at this point, if anything, should be a late game sub when we're up a couple of goals.
Right.
And he's up there to run in a back line and close the game out. We shouldn't be relying on a kid to lead a front line in the first game of a major tournament to an MLS team. That shouldn't be the case. So that's why I feel like Pascal knows that, and he intentionally was like, okay, well, this is my backup. Go ahead and see how this works out. And
I
I
hope
think he did
so.
that in a couple of positions with Cavallo, with who else? Johnny. Like Johnny at this point is completely necessary, whereas in the beginning of the season it was like, oh, cool, this kid can come in and kind of have some minutes here and there, and that's pretty cool. But at this point, he's genuinely without Johnny, the team can't operate.
Right.
So I think him doing all of those things is literally just him showing the front office like, hey, the tools are this is what you're giving me, and this can't compete against a team that is what 13th in their respective league, and they've scored 1 or 2 goals
Yeah.
in the whole, and they beat us 3-0. Like that shows you the talent that we have on days where we need to give key guys rest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And the concerning thing more so is like there's been no rumors beyond Nico and Gustavo, who both seem done. Like there's been some things that have come, but they've also gone. Like they've passed, they've either joined other teams or there's been news about them kind of blowing up their talks. And there's been a lot of people calling for different things like Ty Baribo and people making a case for him to come over, but that wouldn't be until after this season. Like, I just kind of feel like the reinforcements at this point aren't coming. Actually, they haven't been for like 3 years, right? I mean, so I don't know. It kind of sucks because I do feel like Pascal is a pretty well respected and has done a lot to prove his ability in general as a manager right now. And unfortunately, when you want to have a team that's going to win trophies, like you need both a competent manager and a front office that supports them. And I feel like in the past we've felt like we've had both. And last year we felt like maybe we didn't have a competent manager and we didn't have the FO support. But now, like we went out, we found our guy that we want and that we like. Like we need to do things. And I don't know. We always get into the conversation about this being a massive market. Like what the biggest market I think in MLS that you can have, New York City. There's not a bigger
One or
city
two.
in the States. So to not get that buy-in, I guess, from the FO or from CFG or whoever it is, always kind of feels like shit.
And it sucks too because they always have like the signings that they made. Like let's say Raul does get signed and he's with the first team within the next week or two. Like genuinely, that does fix a major issue with us. And long term, it actually is one of the better signings that we would have had this season. Same with Nico. Those are two positions that we desperately needed a spark, somebody else to come in and put some competition out there. So the front office can look in long term or at the end of the season and be like, look, we bought two players that either became first team players like locked in, or they're providing competition for guys who are either coming back injured or whatever it is. So they can look back at it and literally feel like they actually did their job.
Yeah.
But we're talking in the short term now. We're gonna probably, I mean, Leon worse than Puebla. So like, ideally we win there, but
Maybe
who
we
knows what
lose.
happens in
Well,
that third game?
I was
Like
gonna
we could.
say Leon is worse than Puebla, but they beat us 3-0. So maybe it's
Right.
just a 1-0 loss. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like, how does the math
so
math?
it's entirely possible we get bounced from this League's Cup competition and the summer competition's cut short.
I mean,
And
people are saying you get one loss in the League's Cup group stage, and it's essentially a death sentence. Like, you need,
well, anything more than one is pretty much you're done. You need
yeah,
to win at least two. So you're looking at going flawless the rest of the way. I just don't see it happening, and maybe that was the plan for Pascal all along, was to get guys minutes and not really care about this competition. I just think that there's a roster here that could genuinely compete for the cup,
well,
and it's probably your best chance at winning a trophy this season. So why not go for it?
yeah. I mean, your statement is what has to be true based on the lineup selection. I would say, like, they must not care about the cup. It just that has to be the only thing worth saying. I mean, I guess you can call it a little bit of rotation. I know that we've had a lot of games in a short period of time, and the Leagues Cup is like fast too. Like, all these 3 games happen within what, a week and a half or so.
Yeah, I think they play again on Saturday or
Yeah,
Sunday.
and then another midweek. So it happens really fast,
Oh,
but
it's Friday.
that's even quicker. So I don't know. I mean, is it possible that we just punt the Leagues Cup to get the whole roster a month of time off, and to hope that that is something that's a factor as we wrap up the MLS season?
It
That
would just be
seems
really
crazy, right?
frustrating. It'd just be frustrating to do that because genuinely, like, well, Friday they're gonna go full clip for sure.
You
There's
think?
no way that yeah, there's no way that he's gonna trot out, not starters, especially if you're intentionally resting guys on a Tuesday night. Like you're 100% going full clip on Friday. So we're gonna see Maxi, Alonso, the whole nine. The thing is, like, if we don't see that, and if we see another, Alonso coming in late, Nico having minutes restriction and stuff like that, and you are punting this thing, you need to stop selling tickets for full price. You need to refund people their money. Like, people are going out in hopes of seeing their team be competitive. You can't be punting competitions like this. And for a lot of people, this may be the only game that they're able to make for the whole season.
Right.
And you're gonna trot out a 17-year-old, two 17-year-olds, like, it's just that can't be. I would hope that that's not the case
Yeah. I just feel
because
like
like
everything
that's
is pointing to it. Like, all the
all of the
the
evidence.
ducks are lined up.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Like you said, the lineup on Friday is going to say a lot about how much we care about this tournament. You're right. They probably have no choice but to go full clip. And what happens if we win though? Then you go full clip again 4 days later for the, what is it, Cincinnati or Columbus? Do we have?
let me see.
I believe.
No, it's Toluca,
Oh, Tolu. Oh, we have all 3.
which is the following Tuesday,
Yeah. See, it's just,
4 days later.
I don't know.
Which is like, how do you even do that? And that's even they have to travel down. That's an away game. They have to travel down to Mexico for that one.
Really?
So like,
No,
I
there's no shot.
genuinely, yeah, I think so.
No, that might be the Yankee Stadium one.
It says Estadio,
Oh, really?
yeah, in Toluca.
I thought they were all played in America, but I mean, regardless, it's like, I mean, there's a world where we can win the next 2 games, and I still believe we cannot advance, which also kind of, I feel like, puts in the back of your head that it kind of gives you like a what's the point type of feeling. That's what it would give me, I feel like. But
Yeah, well, that's how I felt when I saw Alonso running at the back line and like getting into collisions with the goalkeeper and stuff like that. I'm like, at this point, we're down 2 goals. Like, what's the point? Like,
right.
maybe Alonso pulls it back and we get a couple of goals back, but like, what's the point at this point? We're at like the 80th minute and we got this dude running out there. We got our Ferrari out there running over potholes. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's insane. That's just it's if it. What if somebody does get? What if a starting 11 player does get hurt in the Leagues Cup? Like, you already know the thought is already going to be like, oh, MLS is made up tournament, hurt our player, and to some degree, like fans. I don't know if it's all fans or if it's a quiet or a loud majority or a loud minority online talking shit about the Leagues Cup, but I get the vibe that a lot of people aren't that interested in it. And I guess when you can only get 5,000 butts in stands for a game, it kind of speaks to it too, although weather and date plays
Well,
a factor.
yeah, but even like, why put it on a Tuesday? Like, we were there for every single Leagues Cup game last season because they were scheduled appropriately. Like, they were weekends or at least a Friday, and we made it out to every single one. This season, you got Tuesdays, Fridays, like late. Not only is it a Tuesday and a Friday, but it's super super late. Who's gonna do that? Like, who wants to go out and see that? So they're not helping themselves at all when it comes to getting people into the stadium. You got teams punting it potentially. Like, it's a shit show and not something that, yeah, like if Alonso genuinely did get hurt, that would be horrible.
Season ending.
But now you're at a point where, like, if you punted the first game, and now you need to win 2 games to stick in the competition at all, and you could potentially, like, it just, the whole management of it throws me off, and I just don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, one thing that I think is worth talking about generally that I definitely want to touch on is that we potentially just had like the greatest run of away games. Granted, it was 3 or 4 away games if you don't
Yeah.
count the Leagues Cup between Orlando, which was a loss, but then or not Orlando, but the game before that, Charlotte, I think was a loss. Then what we drew in Orlando, or we won late. We won late in Orlando. Then we had the draw against SKC, and then the big win against Dallas. Like that. If you can do that, if you can average what we did in those 4 away games across all the away games of the season, like you're talking about finishing like top 3, top 4 in the league.
Yeah, those are the biggest positives that you could take from the team, is going and getting those results with, what is that, 2-1-0, or 2-1-1 across those away games. Like
Right.
that, when we were on here looking forward to those games, like, it was bleak. The outlook was terrible just based on our previous away form. But yeah, to come away with those results, you have to give it to them. It's just, how do you continue that, I guess, form and that mentality, knowing that you've got these tricky games that you either go for or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're gonna have to do. That's what we've asked them to do for a while now. I don't know if it's. Do you think there's anything we can attribute to getting those results? Like, that's so out of character for this season, for this club in general. I would feel like in all of its history, like away has been a super tough spot for us. Like, where do you think this came from, if anywhere? Is it just a fluke?
No, it's Alonso Martinez getting back in the team, bro. Like, that's really what it is. It's getting him back to literally score winners against Orlando, hat tricks versus Dallas, be that attacking threat that we need, because without him, we literally don't have a team without him.
Yeah.
And maybe that changes with Nico. Maybe that's the difference. But yeah, I mean, what's your outlook on like the MLS side of things beyond the league stuff?
I feel very good. That's where I just wanted to make sure that I didn't allow the Leagues Cup to cloud my judgment, because like that 4-3 result at Dallas is insane, and the draw at SKC beforehand, and then the late winner in Orlando, like those are 3 insane away results for us. Like, that doesn't happen to this team, so I feel good. I mean, I'm in and out on the Leagues Cup. I feel like sometimes some years I buy into it and some years I don't. And I feel like the first year, I think we were super into it, and the second year has started to wane a bit, and now it feels even less so than it did originally. So I don't know. I mean, I don't hate crashing out early and giving boys a month, honestly. Like, and maybe I've just coped myself into that thought
It's not
process.
even that long.
What?
We would be back August 9th. So
How do they play a whole tournament in 2 weeks and think that's good for health?
I don't
Or
know.
do they start rescheduling games or something? And
They might start rescheduling games,
because that just doesn't make any sense to me.
because we would be playing the 5th and then have a MLS game. Because I think what I'm pretty sure what happens is this: you do this little part, and then you go into like a league. You go back into league play, and then you come back to Leagues Cup later in the season.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure is what's happening.
so it's more like Open Cup now.
Yeah, so they're doing these 3 games rapid fire, and then you go back to league. Like we play on the 5th, we go back, play Columbus, I think at home on the 9th, and then just go straight back into league play, and then you would revisit it for a knockout type of thing or group stage or whatever. I don't know honestly the League's Cup format, but there's a break in between.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I don't at this point. I don't know about you. I don't feel very good about our chances in
I
the
don't.
the Leagues Cup. Doesn't seem like the team cares that much. So kind of ready to move on mentally from it. Like I said, my outlook on the MLS is pretty positive. Nico appears to be a good signing. Raul appears to be a good signing. Good timing too. Maybe they may have known a little bit more about what the plan for Thiago was. Like maybe he was always going to be gone for that Leagues Cup window, and you're trying to do as little damage as possible to the record when you have him out, or at least the regular season record. So that kind of felt a little bit calculated, and hopefully, I guess we can get Raul in sooner than later and see what the plan is when everybody's back healthy. Like I'm interested to see what the 11 looks like when we have everybody here, obviously except for like Keaton and Malachi,
Thiago.
I guess. Or, well, even when Thiago's back, like
Yeah.
I'm interested to understand too what the plan is for Raul, because he's like 26 and he obviously was a player that came from Pascal's previous club. So I can't imagine that he's coming here to not play, like to play a Tana role where he plays every
Yeah,
so
but
often.
Hack is just too good to take off the field, and I know that's bias. You can't take him off the field.
I
Not in by off the field. I mean also you can't put him in midfield because in defense he's just so good, and that's almost why, like when we're having these conversations about if we're punting the League's Cup or not. Like if you're gonna do that, fully punt them. Like
right,
fully have, take your Ferraris off the field, take Matt Freese off the field, Hack off the field. Don't put Alonso in at all. Like, don't do any of those things if you're truly going to punt. Like, get that kid, Musu or Musa, whatever, get him a ton of minutes. Get some of these guys involved. Um, yeah, I guess that's just my final thoughts.
yeah,
I don't know.
the League's
Uh,
Cup got us down.
nah, dude, you saw me. I was crushing all that stuff.
You were.
Hard.
Well, I feel like that's that. That's the state of the team, both in the league and the League's Cup. I mean, things aren't so bad if you look from outside of the League's Cup, I would say. Like, things aren't so bad if we don't care about this
Yeah.
tournament.
But yeah. It's
So-
just one of the worst performances we've seen. But
Yeah,
things are that.
and it was our most recent.
Yeah, and it happened less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah. No, that's
So it's
fair.
still fresh.
That'll do it. Imagine if you went to the game. Imagine I got a text
were
at
going
like
to.
I got a text at like 1 p.m. that I had 2 free tickets to the game, and
Yeah.
I didn't even bother to send the text to you because
Dude,
I'm so happy I did.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. That's where the team's at. T's and P's to Keaton, to Sands, to Malachi, to Thiago. Four players that would absolutely completely change the complexion of this team if they could be on the field, which is insane when you think we lost. All of those are 4 starting players that we no longer, at least at the
Yeah.
moment, have access to.
Guys that would start on any other team.
Yeah, in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite what Twitter wants you to think about Thiago, that is a true statement.
Oh, yeah, it's fully the you don't know what you have until it's gone situation in full effect. Because then you got to see, dude, when I turn the TV on and I'm looking at Tana and Hack and the back line, And yeah, that was hard to see.
Imagine all those same people that were crying about Tana last night that also complain about Tiago.
Yep.
He would fix the crying.
You don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah.
I did like Hack blowing through that dude's leg, though. That was awesome.
Always, I mean, a show of hack moxie can never be diminished or looked over.
No, it's amazing.
Ever. So that's 164. That's 164. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'll see you. Peace.
Peace.
Produced by Mr. Darko Beats.